Conservatives are always complaining that conservatism is under attack. But the more I think about it, the more I think it's actually liberalism that's in danger. I became a conservative because I'm a liberal. I want people to be free and to be treated equally. And that's the attitude America is in danger of losing because of the left. Take racism for an example. For a liberal like me, no issue is about race unless you're a racist. Let me say that again. In politics, there is no such thing as a race issue unless you are a racist. If a group of people who are black or white or Jewish or anything else behave in a bad way or say stupid things, the issue is their behavior and their ideas. If they're poor, the problem is poverty. If they use drugs, the problem is drugs. If they commit crimes, the issue is criminality. The issue is never their race, since all people can be corrupted and degraded given the right circumstances. When racists single out a people for hatred or for love, they create terrible problems. They degrade populations. They hamper assimilation. They create random injustice and give our system and our country a bad name. The answer is always the same. Stop doing that. Don't treat people according to their race. Treat everyone the same. I'm not saying race doesn't exist. I'm not saying there may not be racial differences of all sorts. I have no clue whether there are or aren't, and I don't care. I'm saying in politics, the only way to reach any sort of fairness is one rule, one justice for all. It's the only thing that works. Personally, because I think personally, it's because that's the way that God means us to treat one another. Conservatives understand this. We have relegated the bigots, the anti-Semites, and the white supremacists to the furthest fringes of our movement. They even have to call themselves alt-right because they're actually an alternative to the right. But where do you find racism on the left? In Congress, on campus, and in the New York Times, by which I mean at the very center of their philosophy, because leftism is racism. Leftism is intolerance. Leftism is the enemy not of conservatism, but of liberalism. I want you to live a good life. If you want to live a good life, here's some stuff I recommend. I recommend Jesus. I recommend marriage. I recommend hard work. If you're sitting around, this is the thing that really gets me. Like, I don't believe in affirmative action because I believe that black people are every inch as competent and capable as white people. I believe that if you're sitting around and saying to me, I want reparations for something that never happened to me, and I want you, who never did anything to me, to pay for it, you're just committing an injustice. If you sit around and you say you have white privilege, you're wasting your life. You are wasting your life. If you are a person of color, what you should be thinking about is, how hard can I work? How far can I go? What ideas can I contribute? Now that the barriers are down, thank you very much, white Christian people, for knocking down the barriers that past generations erected. Thank you. Now that the barriers are down, what am I going to do to make myself indispensable and to make myself wealthy while I'm at it? What am I going to do? If you're sitting around going, oh, you have white privilege, you have things that I don't have. You know what? If 100 years ago there was... you're wasting your life. I believe in you. I believe in each one of you that you can go out and do the thing that has to be done. Sometimes when I get an email letter and a mailbag letter and I yell at people, it's because I know you can do it. I know when people say, oh, I don't know what to do. What do I do? I know that you know. I know that you know, and it's like, this is the thing. They don't believe in you. They think, oh, you need some help. You need the government to take care of you. Oh, my goodness, you're such a sad, weak, poor little black person. Well, come on. If anybody spoke to me that way, I wouldn't listen to him again. I've never understood this, especially, I got to say it, especially black men. When the government says to you, oh, you can't do it without me. Oh, when politicians come into your neighborhood and say, oh, you can't even open a bank account. I can't understand any man who doesn't just turn on his heels, walk in the other direction, say, what? I'll show you what I can do. I will show you what I can do. I'm going to build a business. I'm going to build a family. I'm going to invent stuff. I'm going to learn stuff. I'm going to do things. That is what makes you great. That's what makes for a great, happy life. But if you don't want to live that life, I'm not trying to shut you up. If you don't love God and you want to talk about that, please go ahead. If you don't want to live a family life, I'm not going to get in your way. Just don't ask me to pay for it. That's what liberalism is. It's you doing you and me doing me and you paying for you and me paying for me. That's what freedom looks like. And so, it's only the left that wants to shut people down. It's only the left that wants, and the crazy right, the alt-right, that wants to maintain the illusion that race matters, that race should matter in matters of politics. It should not. It should never matter. We should never treat each other according to our race, not ever. And I mean, that doesn't have to do with making jokes about race. Go ahead, please. But it does have to do with saying, you get to behave one way because of your race, and you get to behave another, or you have to behave another. Anytime you do that, you're going to end up a racist. Anytime you look at people like that, you are going to go down that road. And that first part of the road may look great. It may look sensible. But finally, you end up at the New York Times spouting this virulent, racist garbage and thinking you're still a good person because you've got that ring of invisibility that that leftism gives you. That ring, it's like The Hobbit, it's like Lord of the Rings. You get that ring, you put on the ring of leftism, and you become invisible. And pretty soon, you're walking around like that little guy, little monster going, oh, my precious leftism, everything is great. Leftism is the enemy of liberalism. It is the enemy of liberalism.